Hey.
Hi.
It's finally here, right? Fight week.
Yep.
We talked a few weeks ago in San Jose, and I knew you were excited then, but what's the feeling like now that you're finally here once you landed on the island?
It's just normal fight week for me. Monitoring my weight, which has been fantastic. Getting those last little workouts in. But it's essentially like everything's been just the same mode. I've been doing it for like almost 14 years now, so this is a regular fight week.
But the last 10 of them have been with the other folks, right?
Yeah,
so and things sometimes work a little differently when you move to the competition. So how has that been, and have there been adjustments in how fight week works, if things work at a different speed or you do things in a different order? Is that something that throws you off?
No, because each time that we went to different places, different locations, it was kind of like a different atmosphere too. So being here it really doesn't change anything, but everything's run really well and really like clockwork. So besides meeting new people and seeing different faces, there's no difference between however, the pre-fight stuff at the UFC than Bellator. It's virtually the same.
Mm-hmm. You do have an old colleague on the card with you, right? With Liz.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that's kind of cool to be able to be around her, during this week? I know you guys were supposed to fight a couple different times, and now she's down 10 and you're up 10, and now it seems like that's not in the cards anymore, but who knows, right?
So her and I have always had like a pretty cool relationship too. So it's just like a lot of times when I see fighters, it's just seeing like a kind of an old friend. Mm-hmm. So even if we were at the same weight class when we were in the UFC at 135, we just had good respect for each other, and like she's a hard worker and a really good fighter. So even fighting against each other, it was all respect.
Okay. Is she somebody that you would ever look to lean on and maybe ask a few things? Because she came over in a similar situation as you, had success here immediately, won a title, has defended the title, is going to try to defend it again. And I'm assuming that's the exact same kind of path that you would love to take, get a couple quick wins and boom, get a belt around your waist. So, I mean, is that somebody that you would reach out to and say, hey, what's the experience been like for you once you became a champ?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it until you asked me, but I think that if you're a champion of any organization, you really look to the organization for that kind of relationship instead of just each individual, because I know that they don't treat every champion the same because each person's an individual. So maybe the things that she needed or wanted would be different than what I need and want. And I just really am assured that Bellator will take care of me and take care of her, really, really well, regardless of what weight class and what, champion status we are. Mm-hmm.
And last one from me, but I know that obviously you're not going to look past Arlene. You've been around too long to do something like that. But is it at all frustrating that there's still kind of no news about Cyborg and it's still kind of a little bit up in the air? Or does that even matter? Because if she were to go elsewhere or didn't come back, then the belt's open anyways. You just want the belt. Or do you want the belt, but you'd love to get it from her?
So I stay pretty narrowly focused because I don't like to put the cart before the horse. So all of my concentration has really been on Arlene. But truthfully, I think that I would love to get it from Cris. Because I just feel like if you're going to fight and you want to do this and you want to be a champion, such a long-standing champion, like it's a little more special, I think, overcoming the toughest people. And so for me, that's what in my heart that I would want. But I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I just look directly ahead of myself.
Curious, obviously you don't want to put the cart before the horse. You seem very focused on what's in front of you, which is very smart. So my question is more toward your preparation. Mm-hmm. Obviously this will be at a different weight class that you alluded to. And I just had a question. Watching you compete, I'm always amazed at not just your strength, but your skills, obviously, that brought you to the table. But I am curious, with you being a very athletic and strong that your opponents have said you are, was it ever hard to make 135? And do you feel kind of a welcome challenge for 145?
So it was challenging to make 135. Because I had made weight for so long in wrestling, I would start really early and I would just very slowly get my weight down, and I would lose as much body weight as I could, or body fat as I could, healthy. And then I wouldn't cut water until like the last couple days, and I'd immediately rehydrate. So it was manageable, but now I'm really excited to see, because 145 is closer to what I competed a lot in wrestling. And I was very healthy, very strong, great conditioning. And I kind of have a sense that in the third rounds, I'm going to feel a little stronger because I don't have to dehydrate.
And third rounds, was that, and obviously you're not want to make excuses, but did you ever feel it, albeit whether third round, cardio, strength, did you ever feel drained with some of your fights at 145, speaking to this?
So I never felt drained, and I never felt too tired, but I know that when I was commanding my body to execute, I don't always feel like it was executing as well or as fast or as crisp as I wanted to. And I did worry, I'm like, okay, this has to be fixed by the time I have a 135-pound title fight, because it goes in the deeper rounds. And then now, being at 145, that weight is lifted off my shoulders, and I feel like more excited about even going into the deeper rounds.
Fantastic. And last one for me, sticking with the prep. Obviously, you're no stranger with training with high-level people, whether it be grappling, MMA. But I notice you're training with, and I'm sure you've done this before, but you're training with a lot of the young, up-and-coming, accoladed wrestlers. Can you speak to that? It's something we see a lot of, whether it male or female competitors in MMA. When they've been doing it for, a minute, sometimes training with younger talent almost revitalizes them, keeps them sharp. Can you speak to any of these things for yourself?
Yeah, I'm exposed to some of the young girls that are coming up in wrestling. I had a little bit, like I helped out Amit Elor, world champion, previous, but it was more like in helping her, go through practices and stuff. But I do train with younger people, and I do compete in the adult divisions. And I do that because I think that if you're going to still stay in sport, you can be matched up with anybody. It's not just people who are closer to your age, or there's no division like that. I could be matched up with an 18-year-old. And so I think that to stay fresh, like, you have to be able to hang with youth in the energy-wise and the, aggressive pace, and then also have the value of all that experience that they don't have. So I don't just compete in masters divisions and compete against girls that it would be equally as you get older. The last girl I fought was 26, so I'm smart to stay against the young girls.
Hey, Sara, Kay Williams for Can Chronicles Media. After joining Bellator and free agency and being a veteran in the sport, what's the motivating factor for your continued push?
Really, it's just that I love to do it. I don't know if that means that something might be wrong with me. I mean, I know people who are close to me are like, we love that you're chasing your dreams, but we'll be so much happier when you stop fighting. So the people who care about me, it's hard for them to watch. But for me, I just really love to do it. So it is the process, it is the experience, and the win is the icing on the cake. I'm super competitive. I love to win, and I'm going to put in the work to win. But man, I just love all of it, especially not cutting weight.
Absolutely. And Arlene is known as Anger Fist, and she packs one hell of a punch. Our punch is. Have you studied any of her techniques leading up into the fight in preparation? Oh,
of course. I've never gone into any fight or grappling without scouting my opponents. My coaches scout the opponents. They put me through workouts specifically to, negate their strengths and to maximize my strengths. So, yeah.
Any last minute words to Blencowe?
No, I'm not a trash talker. Best of luck to both of us. I hope you're healthy and go out there and lay it all on the table.